The Junior League members are in the kitchen at Mount Justice, looking distraught. This Martian stares blankly ahead while stirring something in a large bowl. The rest of the junior team stares ahead with equally vacant expressions on their faces. In the entryway, Red Tornado, Captain Marvel, and Martian Manhunter are waiting when the lair announces Batman's arrival. Martian Manhunter tells Batman that the kids are still upset over what happened in the virtual reality training exercise, when they all had to watch each other pass away, even though they know that it did not happen. Each kid is having difficulty getting over the experiences they faced. Black Canary has offered to act as a counselor for the junior heroes to help them through this hard time. In an individual session with Superboy, she tries to get him to talk about his feelings. She asks Superboy if he is upset because he had to watch all his friends pass away. Black Canary wants to empathize with him, but he won't talk to her and instead storms out. In Metropolis, a flying craft appears out of a portal. The extraterrestrial flying spacecraft resembles a convertible, but is clearly not of this world. A group of kids on the ship are speaking a strange, unearthly language to one another. They are looking for something. They call themselves the Forever People. Their leader is looking at a handheld device. They are trying to find out if what they are looking for, the new Genisphere, is here on Earth. The device tells them that it is. At Mount Justice, Superboy is trying to leave the lair on his motorcycle when the sphere stops him. Wolf comes to Superboy's aid, but they soon realize the sphere is not trying to stop them. It converts itself into a large motorcycle-like ship and offers Superboy and Wolf a ride. Batman chases after them, but it is too late. They have flown away. When Batman tries to radio Superboy to return to Mount Justice, he realizes that Superboy left his communication device behind. Black Canary is still trying to act as a therapist to the Junior League. In a session, Artemis says that she was in a coma the whole time and wasn't affected by what happened in the simulation. Black Canary thinks that Artemis is acting tough and knows that she is keeping secrets from the rest of the team. Artemis says Black Canary can't tell them, and she says that she won't, but Artemis should. She wants Artemis to tell the team that she is not Green Arrow's niece. Artemis doesn't want to, because she cares what her friends think of her, especially Kid Flash. Superboy and Wolf are riding in the sphere when they are intercepted by the Forever People. They tell Superboy to return the new Genisphere and any other technology he has stolen from New Genesis. Superboy doesn't know who they are or what they are talking about. They tell him that the sphere is theirs and they want it back. Their leader looks at his device and tells the Forever People to stand down. He knows that Superboy did not steal the new Genisphere, but rather freed it from captivity. The Forever People embrace Superboy as a friend and an ally. Black Canary works with Aqualad. He is upset because he does not believe that he showed leadership skills during the virtual exercise. He says he wants to give up his position as head of the Junior League. Black Canary asks him who should take over. Aqualad knows that the next in line is Robin, who is still very young. He does not want to burden Robin with leadership before it is necessary, and decides to keep his position. In the air, the Forever People introduce themselves to Superboy as Seraphon, Dreamer, Moonrider, Bear, and the leader Viken. They are young gods from the planet New Genesis. Viken shows Superboy his hand device, called the Mother Box. She is a living computer who has tracked stolen New Genesis technology to Earth. Superboy and the Forever People track a stolen New Genesis drill to a construction site in Metropolis, right across from the Federal Reserve. They realize that the drill is tunneling underneath the site, and decide to go after it. Superboy and the Forever People find the drill and discover it is being used by Ugly Mannheim, Whisper Adair, and some of their goons to steal gold bars from the reserve. Viken approaches and tells them they must return the stolen property immediately. Superboy reminds them that the gold must go back too. The villains won't cooperate and instead they attack. Whisper, Ugly, and their men have weapons that are strong enough to fight the Forever People. Dreamer recognizes them as the weapons of anti-life from the planet Apocalypse. Black Canary is in a session with Kid Flash, who is not taking their conversation very seriously. He is laying upside down and eating popcorn. She wants to talk about his extreme reaction to Artemis's passing, but he refuses. She tells him that he is in denial, but he says that's fine with him. The Forever People tell Superboy that they need to get to higher ground in order to have an advantage over the villains and their apocalypse weapons. They make it out of the tunnel where the new Genisphere rushes to their aid. The Forever People use a spell to combine themselves into one godlike being, Infinity Man, who easily removes the apocalypse weapons and disables the men. Ugly, seeing that he is outmatched, runs away leaving Whisper behind. Viken does not understand how humans are acquiring technology from both New Genesis and Apocalypse. Dreamer peers into Whisper's mind and sees Desaad, a god scientist and the chief torturer of the planet Apocalypse. In his session, Robin talks to Black Canary about his experience with leadership. He feels that he failed when he took over as the leader in the simulation. He used to want to be in charge, but now he isn't so sure. He tells her a secret. He used to want to be Batman, but not anymore. Motherbox, tracking more stolen technology, leads Superboy and the Forever People to an airplane hangar. Superboy uses his heat vision to scan the hangar but does not see anyone there. They believe they are alone, but have been tricked by Ugly and his gang, who are using Apocalypse technology to disguise themselves. They reveal themselves to the Forever People and attack. A battle ensues. The Forever People once again combine to form Infinity Man, but just as they do, Desaad reveals himself in the Father Box. He instructs Ugly to take the Father Box and throw it at Infinity Man. Once the box hits him, Infinity Man turns evil. The evil Infinity Man attacks Superboy, Wolf, and the new Genosphere. When talking to Black Canary, Miss Martian blames herself for what happened to the team. She can't bring herself to use her powers anymore. Black Canary understands because she has been through similar struggles when she was figuring out her powers. She tells Miss Martian that she needs to be herself and regain her confidence. At the airplane hangar, Superboy is doing what he can to fight the evil Infinity Man, but it is too strong. In the background, Desaad cackles. He tells Ugly that Infinity Man is now his master's puppet. Evil Infinity Man is about to end Superboy for good when the sphere attacks, launching itself at Infinity Man. The sphere attaches to Infinity Man's head and reverts him to his natural state, rid of the evil from the Father Box. Ugly and his men are no match for Infinity Man. He easily defeats them and Desaad flees. Superboy and the Forever People survive, but the sphere is severely damaged. The Mother Box begins to heal it, and the Forever People agree that Superboy can keep it, as he and the sphere have bonded. Superboy finally agrees to talk to Black Canary. He tells her that he is worried for himself because he was happy inside the simulation, even though all his friends were passing away. He was not upset because he got to be Superman, which is all he has ever wanted. Black Canary tells him talking about it is the first step to making a change. On episode 18, in New York at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the sword of Beowulf has been stolen. The museum docent tells the police that the sword is said to bring great power to the pure of heart. The police tell the docent that the thief is long gone, but he is hiding in the rafters. Harm reveals himself and uses the sword of Beowulf to attack the police. The docent says that Harm should not be able to use the sword as he is not pure of heart. Harm argues that his heart is pure, it is just pure evil rather than pure good. It is Halloween at Mount Justice and Kid Flash has dressed up as Teen Wolf. Superboy is dressed as a mummy and Miss Martian as a zombie, while Zatanna and Artemis dress as witches. Zatanna sees Superboy and Miss Martian flirting and asks Artemis how long they have been a couple. Artemis becomes visibly upset when she realizes that they are dating, and she didn't know about it. Zatanna says they can go fight crime instead to cheer her up and uses her magic to change them both into their crime-fighting outfits. At the Happy Harbor dance, everyone decides Kid Flash, Miss Martian, and Superboy are dressed as superheroes. One of their classmates, Marvin, is telling everyone about his obsession with Martians when an alert goes out to everyone's phone saying that the Martians have attacked. At Mount Justice, Robin and Aqualad are talking to Batman, Red Tornado, and Red Arrow about the mole. They don't think that anyone on the team is a traitor or gave information to Sportsmaster and the League of Shadows. Red Arrow isn't so sure. He trusts Aqualad, Robin, and Kid Flash, but he knows there is something up with Artemis. He reveals that she isn't Green Arrow's niece. Robin knows and is about to reveal that she is related to the assassin Cheshire when Batman stops him. He tells Robin that everyone is entitled to a secret identity. Batman is more suspicious of Superboy since he was created at Cadmus Labs. It is possible that Superboy is the mole and does not know it. Aqualad stands firm. He trusts his team. Out on the streets of Manhattan, Zatanna presses Artemis to talk, but Artemis is looking for a fight. They find a series of petty robberies in progress and stop them. Artemis takes her aggression out on the bad guys, but she and Zatanna do not realize that they are being watched by Harm until he intercepts them. Harm tells them that he will use his fight with them to learn how to eliminate Green Arrow and Zatara. Although they try to stand up to him, he is too powerful with the sword of Beowulf on his side, and they are forced to flee. As they are running, they see a light gray girl who motions them down an alley and helps them escape. When they try to talk to her, all she can say is the word secret. Despite their escape efforts, Harm keeps catching up to them and nearly taking them down. Back at the dance, the emergency lights come on. Everyone's phones are still blasting out alerts about Martian attacks when Homeland Security comes on the intercom and tells everyone to stay inside the gym. Superman uses his X-ray vision to look through the walls and discovers that it is an elaborate prank orchestrated by Marvin. While fighting Artemis on the roof, she convinces Harm to drop the sword, but he is still stronger than her. Zatanna tries to grab the sword, but it rejects her, for she is not pure of heart. Zatanna and Artemis see the girl waving from across the roofs. They follow her, but she disappears again. The girl has led them directly to Harm's house. He is furious that they somehow discovered where he lives and knocks them unconscious. Outside the school, Superboy, Kid Flash, and Miss Martian turn the prank around on Marvin. They use their powers to trick him into believing Martians really are attacking. He runs into the school in a panic and accidentally reveals his prank to the students. In Harm's house, Artemis and Zatanna awaken to find themselves restrained and in separate rooms. Harm threatens Artemis, saying that he will hurt Zatanna if Artemis does not answer his questions. He asks her how she knew where his house was and she says that his partner led them there, but Harm does not have a partner. In another room, the girl appears and sets Zatanna free. Zatanna looks around and realizes that she is in the girl's room, and that she is Harm's sister. Zatanna manages to free Artemis and they escape out the back, blowing up the first floor of Harm's house in the process. In the yard, the girls find a grave and discover that girl is a ghost named Greta. She shows them that she was stabbed by Harm's dagger. Harm admits that he eliminated his sister to make his heart pure evil so that he could use the sword. Greta reaches inside Harm and pulls out the purity in his heart so that he can no longer use the sword of Beowulf. Without it, he is rendered far less powerful, and Artemis and Zatanna take him down. Zatanna promises Greta's ghost that they will make sure she receives a proper burial. Artemis can't believe anyone would do that to their own sister. It seems like she is about to reveal to Zatanna that her sister is Cheshire, but she stops herself at the last minute. Zatanna and Artemis look out a hole in the fence and see a sign with the word secret lit up. They realize that it was the last thing Greta saw before she passed away.